Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you have seen by the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be showing you how to ball on a budget and how to look insane using just drugstore makeup products. So everything in this video is from a drugstore brand that is sold in like Superdrug, Boots, etc. For any of you who are not from the UK, they're basically just like where you like Walgreens and Walmart, things like that, where you buy cheap makeup from. Basically all the products that I'm using are from stores like that. But yeah, I basically just wanted to film this video because I've wanted to for so long, didn't do it. Then Nikki did it the other day and I was like, oh, I want, like, now's the time to do it. So as you all saw on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, if not, why y'all tripping, at Ellis_Atlantis on Instagram. Follow me right now, please. But I allowed you all to basically pick from different options of products that I liked for my full face. So there was like foundations, concealers, blah, 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 blah. You got to vote. So I've got all those results on my phone and we're going to be using those products to do my makeup. And then there's also a few other bits that you couldn't choose, which I'm going to be picking for myself because there's certain products which I love and I really want to like show you and give you the recommendation of them and all that. I don't know why I'm moving so much. I'm just really excited to film this video. My hair is already pushed out of my face because I was like, we're not wasting time. We're just going to jump straight into the video. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. First step is skin prep, and I'm going in with the Revolution Superfruit extract. It's just really nice, really hydrating, and it just makes my skin nice and supple and like ready for makeup basically. Now I've got two primers. I've got the Hydra Touch primer from NYX, and then I've got the Revolution Glass Skin primer. Now this primer actually won the vote on my Instagram by a landslide. I think this one got like nearly 2,000 votes more than the other primers that I put up for, like you could vote for. So we're definitely going to go with this one, but before I do this one, I just want to put a little bit of this slightly blurring down first. And the reason I want to do that is just so that it helps to blur my pores on my cheeks. Now I do love this primer, but it's very, very sticky. But this is just the Glass Skin primer from Revolution. Now I only put this on my high points and then the residue I will pat into the rest of the face. I think if you go in with a thick layer, it can become like a slip and slide. So I literally just go in with like a, you can see here, just a one, there we go, jumped everywhere. One pump, rub it all in, and then pat it in. Okay, so foundation, I like to use two, and I'm thinking two, that's a lot, but just hear me out. I like to go in with the Revolution Fast Base Stick, but this is very, very creamy, so I'll put this down as a base, but then I like to buff into it with the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. Now, the Conceal and Hydrate sets itself a little bit, so I feel that that helps control how wet this is. So I basically just draw this all over and then buff over the top of this, and then it just kind of sets itself down nicely. And then I don't even blend this in. What I do is I get my little beauty blender and then I put a couple of pumps on the back of my hand of the Conceal and Hydrate, pick that up, and then we just blend it in. So for contour, I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. And then instead of like drawing it on, I'm going to basically squeeze it on the back of my hand. Oh, this is very bronzy. So I'm just kind of like buffing it like this onto the back of my hand. Can you see like that? And then I can just go in and start to bronze my face up with. And if you start back here at like the perimeter of the face and blend it forward, a lot of your product will build here and then the center of your face won't get as much and it'll be easier to blend. Now, the concealer choice actually really threw me because I thought everyone would vote for like, I had the Makeup Revolution Infinite Concealer, the Conceal and Hydrate, I had some NYX ones, but everyone literally voted for the Infallible Concealer by L'Oreal. So that's the one we're going to use. I'm using the shade Porcelain, and I'm just going to basically do my normal and highlight my face. And then I've just put a little bit on the back of my hand and picked it up on my beauty blender, and that's just so that when I start to blend it in, my sponge doesn't absorb any product and I get to keep the maximum coverage. Once I've kind of like buffed in all my concealer and highlight, I just like to take the brush I use for contour and just lightly pat over the edges, just to kind of make sure that it's not like and super liney and that it's all just melted together. So I've just zoomed you in, done my eyebrows off camera, and now we're going to do eyeshadow. I'm going to be using these two palettes here, which are the Makeup Revolution Black Ice and the Glass Mirror palettes. Now, the palette has this really beautiful, like, metallic gold and silver, and they look so beautiful. So I really want to use one of those. I think the gold on the lids, I never really do that. So yeah, I think we'll just have a play around. Don't really know what I'm doing. Like I said, let's just have a play around. But yeah, let's just do the eyeshadow look. Now, for my eyeshadow base, you know I normally use the P. Louise base because it's my actual favourite. But apparently we're not using that. We're going to be using the Infallible concealer, which I use for my under eyes. We're going to be using that for an eyeshadow concealer. But if you do want to try the P. Louise eyeshadow base, I do have a discount code, which is Ellis Atlantis 10, which does save you some money if you do want to try the P. Louise base at a cheaper price. Use that code at your own will. It's up to you if you want to use it, but we're going to be using the Infallible concealer for my eyeshadow primer today. And then what I like to do to stop it from creasing, I like to get my sponge and just lightly dab it over the top, and that just helps to absorb any excess product and to lay it all down nice and perfect. So on an angle brush, I'm just going to take this dark brown shade and kind of map out this kind of wing crease shape. Now I'm just going to pick up like this medium browny shade, and I'm just going to start building up some depth and dimension here by my inner corner brow bone area. And all I'm doing is just kind of like, instead of like rubbing my brush, I'm just patting it ever so slightly with this kind of like flat fluffy brush. I'm just patting it like this, just so that I'm kind of melting it in, and rather than scratching it in, if that makes sense. So just patting away to build up the product nice and slowly. So now going into the Glass Mirror palette, I'm just going to pick up the really dark chocolatey brown. We're just going to start packing that in this area here. Now I'm just going to use like a fluffy brush like this just to kind of tickle out all the edges. So now I'm just going to really work out like the colours in this outer V here, using like the black and like the darker chocolate colour, just to really build up the depth here. I'm just starting out with a little pencil brush really to like pack on and get the area nice and defined. Then I'm just going to take the colour we put here and I'm just going to start to buff this into my crease so it all kind of just like flows together. Now I'm just dipping into the black. I'm just tapping off any excess off my brush just to try and help with minimal fallout. Okay, so I'm happy with the eye. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the NYX Pigment Primer, and this is one of the best products you can get at the drugstore to help make pigment stick to the eye. So I'm putting a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just kind of warming it up onto my hand so it goes a bit more slimy in texture. And I'm just going to pat this all in this little area here. And then now with the gold, I can just pat this over the top. Look at that. And now I'm just going to smoke out my lower lash line using the colour we did here and a little bit of this one here. Okay, other eyes done, lip liner's on, now it's time to powder, but I don't actually have a powder from the drugstore because every single one that I've tried makes me look either dry, chalky, or just not right. So one that I do have is the Do It Semi-Matte Finishing Powder from Give Face Cosmetics, and I know that it is super, super cheap and inexpensive, so that's gonna have to do. And I'm just using like a little packer brush like this just to kind of pat on the powder where I want it. So for bronzer, this is probably one of the best bronzers, and it's from a brand which is sold in Primark, and that's Florma, and it's the big bronzing powder, and it looks like this on the inside, and it's just a really nice big bronzer that just is really inexpensive, but it's like really good. You can see that it's like sculpting, bronzing. So good. So I'm going to use the Revolution X Patricia Bright Moonlight Glow Palette. It comes with a highlighter, a contour and a blush. I'm going to use the contour to kind of do under my cheeks, my jawline, my chin and my temples. And can you see I'm just patting my brush? So instead of swiping, I'm just patting it in. And it keeps it more concentrated, but also really helps to diffuse it as well. Now, every time there was a L'Oreal product up against somebody else, the L'Oreal product would always win. So you all picked the L'Oreal blushes. So I've got the shades Life's a Peach and Melon Dollar Baby. And they both smell like peaches and watermelons. So I'm going to use a peach one first and maybe a little bit of the melon one on the apples of my cheeks. So I like to start here, like pat it in here, and then diffuse that forwards to the apple and up into the temple area like this. And then that way it just kind of helps make everything just melt together, you know? And then let's add some melon one in as well, like why not? Oh my god, this smells so good. Before I do highlight, I like to use setting spray first to kind of melt everything in, and then I find that my highlighter just glides on better when my skin's being wetted down or dampened down. So one of my favourite setting sprays at the moment is the Revolution Glass Shimmer Fix Iridescent Fixing Spray. And you won't be able to see it on camera, but it has all these beautiful, I'll hold it up and see if it'll show it, but it has all these beautiful light pink reflex in it. And that's gonna go all over your face, but it doesn't leave you glittery, it just leaves you really, really radiant. So let's do that. And then fan yourself dry. Now can you see how my skin just looks radiant, but we've not even done anything to it yet? Now it's time for highlighter. Now for highlighter, these two won by a landslide when it came to highlighters for the cheeks, but these are the Revolution Glass Skin Illuminators. There is a slight drama surrounding them. So I'm gonna use these, but then I'm also gonna show you another highlighter which I really, really like. Because I know you can get this one. I think these are discontinued, or they'll be coming back later in new packaging. I'm not sure what they're doing. So what I'll do is I'll show you these and I'll show you these, and then there's an alternative one. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take like a fluffy brush like this, and I'm gonna pick up this one as it has like a pinkish shimmer to it. I'm just gonna lightly put that on the apples of my cheeks. Now I'm gonna take Glass Crystal Illuminator. I'm gonna do that on this cheek, and then on this one we will do the Sleek highlighter. So this one is like pure metallic. Be very gentle with this if you have it. And then for this cheek, we're gonna try the Sleek one. I say try, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And again, this one is very blinding, so you only need like the tiniest amount. So for lipsticks, you all picked these, and these are the NYX Lingerie, oh my god, Push Up Long Lasting Lipsticks. So I've just picked out 2 colours so I can kind of do like an ombre. So we've got like this chocolate brown for my lip liner, and then a nice lighter brown for my highlight in the centre. Okay, so I know I was going to use a lip highlight and we was going to make it like ombre, but we're not. Because I'm going to use the Glass lip gloss in the shade Glass from Makeup Revolution, just to make my lips super glossy. So instead of like coating my whole lip, I've just done here on the top and then the little pillows on my lip here, just so that it's not like a full glossy lip, but it really catches the light, which you can see it does. So I'm gonna go do some finishing touches off camera and then I'll be back with a final look. And here's the finished makeup look. I literally just took on my wig, some lashes, my brow hairs, a little beauty mark and my jewellery, and here's the finished look. What do you think? If I'm being completely honest, I don't really think I can tell a difference between using a full face at drugstore and my normal makeup routine. I think the only thing I'd say which I would have preferred to use is like, I wish I could have used my P. Louise base because I could have really made my eyeshadow pop even more. Because I felt like the concealer was like a little bit drier than I would like, because the P. Louise base is really creamy and the concealer is a little bit drier, but the concealer is perfect as a concealer, but as an eyeshadow base, maybe I could have used, like, you can use like a wetter concealer, that might be better for you, but yeah, I can't really tell the difference. I mean, there's some products that I would have liked to have been able to use when I do my makeup, like glitters and pigments that you can get from the drugstore, but other than that, like, if someone said to me like, this is how my makeup would have to look for the rest of my life using only drugstore makeup, like, I would have been mad at that. But yeah, and to make sure I kept it in sync with the whole using only drugstore makeup, I used the Ellis X Ardell Lash. I stacked 3 pairs together, but this time, instead of leaving them fluffy, a little trick I like to do is if you coat them with mascara, they go ridiculously spiky. Like, look at that. So you see all the spikes in here? If you just coat them in the direction of those spikes with mascara, it makes them go super spiky like this, which is so crazy. And then I chopped up like a little inner corner one just to put on here and here to give like a really full bottom lash line. But this is the finished makeup look. So I guess that's it. So if you like the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please, please, please comment down below like what else you want me to film, because I am now, this is video number 3 on the 4-day interval. We are getting it done. Like, this is probably the most I've uploaded in a row on YouTube. So I'm really trying to like keep the content going. So just put down in the comments below what videos you want me to film, and I will make sure that they are filmed and uploaded every 4 days. But I guess that's it. So until then, I'll see you on the next one. See ya.